Cuba is an amazing country and there are so many interesting places to visit, like Vinales, Cienfuegos and Trinidad, for example. But how should you go to these places if you're traveling as a backpacker? Well, if you watch this video, I'll tell you how. You have different options when it comes to traveling in Cuba. You can take the bus called Via Sul, take a collectivo taxi, which is a shared taxi, or the train. Let's start with the Via Sul bus. On the plus side, the bus is cheaper. Via Sul also has a reputation of being reliable and on time. The bus also have air condition, even though I've been told that it can also be very cold and you should bring a sweater. But there's also some downs by taking the bus. First, there are only a limited amount of tickets for each road that are sold on Via Sul's website. That means that you have to go to a Via Sul office to buy the tickets when you arrive in Cuba in case they are sold out on the website. And if you don't make it a priority, the tickets might be sold out, especially in the high season at the office as well. There can also be other problems with getting a ticket. I went to the bus office in Cienfuegos, but unfortunately the booking system was down and it didn't work for the entire day. Therefore I couldn't get a ticket and I wasted a lot of time. You also have to be at the Via Sul station 1 hour before departure. And then you might spend some money to go to the bus station, or at least some time. And for those reasons, I am a lot bigger fan of the collectivo taxi, even though it also has some downs. When you take a collectivo taxi, you don't really know what adventure lies ahead of you. I have tried it 5 times. On the plus side, the taxi driver drives faster than the bus and don't stop in towns at Via Sul stations to pick people up. So you'll save time. With the collectivo taxi, you will also be picked up at your address and you'll also be put off at your new address. So again, you'll save time. One of the plus sides is also that you might be lucky and picked up in an old classic car, like I did twice. But you can also be unlucky and get picked up in a car most people would think should retire. On the downside, the collectivo taxi is more expensive. From Cienfuegos to Trinidad with the collectivo taxi, it will cost you 10 kuk and only 6 kuk with the Via Sul bus. However, I still think it's money well spent because you don't have to go to the Via Sul station, be at the Via Sul station for 1 hour before departure, and you will get directly to your new address, so that is something you should take into consideration. However, the price also depends on how good you are to bargain. I paid 25 kuk when I went from Trinidad to Havana, which would have been the same price with the Via Sul bus. If you want to go with a collectivo taxi, you can ask your host at your casa particulares, hostel, or even the Cubans on the street, because the Cubans help each other. Also because they might get a commission themselves for helping, so they might have the right connections to help you. For example, in Trinidad, I just asked a man on the street. Yeah, it might sound a little bit weird, but he had the connections and I got the taxi through him. The Cubans may also ask you if you want to go with a collectivo taxi, for example near a station, like they did when I was in Cienfuegos and I was on my way to the Via Sul station. I have also put a link below to the company I used when I wanted to travel from Havana to Vinales and Havana to Cienfuegos in case you want to book a collectivo taxi in advance. Another option is traveling with train. But I don't have any experience myself because I've been told that the trains often break and are unreliable. However, the government is trying to improve the rail systems, so the rail system might be a lot better since my stay. Therefore, I put a link below to an article about the rail system in Cuba. Last option if you want to go far distance is by flying. But I found the tickets very expensive and many were not directly, so I had to stop in Miami if I wanted to go from Havana to Santiago de Cuba, and that wouldn't be worth it. But I'm mentioning the option here in case you might find a flight that is directly and cheap. I just wouldn't count on it. Many travelers don't go further than the city Trinidad, which is located close to the middle of the Cuban island. Even though the south also have many interesting cities, for example Santiago de Cuba. But no matter what option you choose, you need to have a lot of time that you can use on transportation if you want to go to the south. I made a big mistake because I didn't do the research well enough about how long time will take me to go from Trinidad to Santiago de Cuba. But it would actually take me a whole day with the Via Sul bus from 8 a.m. in the morning to around 9 p.m. in the evening. In the end, I ended up not going because I just didn't have enough time to use some transportation. But I will advise you to travel smarter and stop at different cities in a day or two, so you're splitting up the long travel time to smaller tours if you want to go to the south. So this is the end of my video. Thank you for watching. I hope you'll give it a like. Feel free to comment below if you have any questions and I'll get back to you. You're also very welcome to subscribe if you want more of my travel tips. I have of course also made other videos about Cuba, for example the cities Havana, Vinales, Cienfuegos and Trinidad, where I tell you what to do, eat and where to eat. And if you want to know more about those places, you can just click on these links. I've also made a video called Before Going to Cuba, where I tell you basic stuff that you really should know before going, like how to see the difference between the two currencies and how to get Wi-Fi, which is something you have to pay for. I wish you a very good day. Bye.